Even though the comic joyfully avoids the cramp thing, it's not as endearing somehow, and has serious spoilers. Once again, I'm torn. Splitting evenly, the script loses some heart to clunky dialogue, but has a fantastic alley scene, and a superior Watcher origin. Do you know how many girls I've trained to be slayers? 5. They worked harder than you've ever worked, and I saw them ripped apart. What do you think? That being able to jump about and hit people makes you a slayer? Buffy: how can you keep doing this? Merrick: it's what I was raised to do. Origin is slightly different from the series, but still gets a point. The movie lost a little heart for dialogue change, but somehow gained its own. There was a sweet chemistry between the actors, and it worked. Frankly, though, it got the tie for this brilliant portrayal.
Fight me a pipe. You want something? Well, I feel pretty. Let me eat, Pike. I'm hungry. Go home, Dad. I'm hungry. You're floating.
Not sure why exactly, but the script gets points for this. Jennifer is feeling sorry for Jeffrey. Boy, does she want him. I like the addition in the movie about the leather jacket saga being more important than the girl dying.
Got to get some. Whoa! 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 I'm sorry. I don't actually need any right now.
Oh, hi, sorry. Just admiring the clothing store scene once more. Him wearing those gigantic pants and their stare and his wanting to die. It was wonderful. While necessarily rushed, I did appreciate the comic capturing the impact of the Watcher's death. Similar repair shop scene in the movie, save an intriguing line. I swear the actor mouthed something about Pike having stolen his guitar. It feels like Buffy's stolen lipstick must be related somehow. The comic had to smash all this together. It did not work. The script is identical to what the movie did, save this fantastic ad-lib.
You ruined my new jacket. Kill him a lot.
Vastly improves his silly crying in the script. Rescue is about even. Given the pathetic nature, Lothos with Amelin, definitely movie. But the scene where they talk at her house by far goes to the script. The "Are you calling me a man?" was genuinely stupid. In the script, they talked about younger days. Her on the swing, his guidance counselor. Pike was even reconsidering staying on screen somewhere in the script. The Buffy Merrick fight is also different. It's acted well, but him admitting to being a sports fan and agreeing to go in the script was sweet. You see him at the game in the movie. It loses so much without that last smile, Jeffrey's bizarre jealousy, and Buffy's projectile vomit barb. Both games were structured well. It has been pointed out that I should take note of the cheer. I will just say, I wish the original cheer and Merrick's activities were put in the movie. However, I also wish the script had the movie's coach and adorable Teen Wolf feel. Plus baby Affleck. And I was equally entertained by the vampires in both versions. The bike stealing scene is basically identical. Comment to Captain Marvel, who didn't actually need the bike and wasn't grossly insulted or sexually propositioned. This is the distinction between kind of anti-heroish hero and villain. Moving on. I prefer the script's construction site to the float's place. Not that I didn't like that one float that kind of, again, made me think of Teen Wolf. Both versions of dialogue between Buffy and Grueller work. Both Pike and Buffy interactions are fun, though I missed Kimberly's random driving up and then fleeing when she sees what's going on, not even trying to help. And while it failed, I'm glad the comic at least tried. What puts the script over the top is Merrick's death. Everything Perry and Rubens is worth watching, and the intensity between Sutherland and Swanson was good. But he really blew this one part of the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love much of what he did with this role, and think Joss is whining a little bit. He acts like it got turned into Ella Enchanted. But I agree, Sutherland ruined the death, and Whedon deserved better there.
Come on, Lefty. Remember what happened the last time you messed with me? I remember.
Buffy, crouching on the ground, holding her stomach. Pike, Buffy, what's wrong? Buffy, not answering. Merrick runs, sees him, looking for a weapon. Lothos, look at you, so full of fury. After you've served me for 100 years, I think you'll have a little more perspective. Merrick shoots himself. Buffy's eyes go wide. A small, involuntary noise escapes her. 20 yards away, he hears, stares. Buffy walks slowly, silently backward, fading into the dark. Lothos looks back at Merrick. Fool. He did it for her. Too great a weapon in Lothos's hands. The movie missed that. Comic once again fails, like they were trying to emulate Cordelia in Kimberly, as well as Buffy's other friends. The script is nearly identical to the movie, but not as smooth. The two once again tie. Script for the uncomfortable Joyce scene that explains a lot in the series, and movie for this acting.
Eric's dead.
Cheap shot.
He's dead because of me. Because I couldn't lift a hand against Lothos. I'm in way over my head.
Three-way tie. Comic, the dress is better. As for the movies, also for the you all look thirsty, sprays Holy Perrier. Script, Pike spilling punch on himself, and his crossbow that he made himself, as well as Andy's redemption. Movie, Seth Green. And while the fighting is better in the other versions, I can survive the Jeffrey-Jennifer sex scene. All you hear is, Jeffrey, wow, that was quick, and it's over. You have no idea, unless you've seen season 4 of Buffy, which I will not disclose. Then, my friend, you know. I love all three versions of the Wrecked Dance. The fun with the principal in the comic, the highly entertaining movie, and the deeply emotional script. As much as I enjoyed the tragic Andy and Amelin deaths, I adored every single thing about Amelin and Buffy fighting. I enjoyed the script version, but I'm glad it never got made because that would have prevented Luke's death at the start of the series, and I wouldn't trade that either. Frankly, the movie choice was priceless, especially for his death being an ad-libbed. Anyone who says that doesn't feel like a Joss Whedon scene doesn't know Joss Whedon. Pee Wee Rubens had a brilliant and charming over-the-top death, and it fit well into the style. Plus, I'm a big music lover, and there was poetry to it. And that's where the movie takes a giant tumble down the hill. Pushed down the hill. I think they tried. But it leaned far too heavily on the humor and not enough on reality. A line Joss would have walked, especially for an ending. I honestly blame this for the movie's hate. As much as the aforementioned creator exaggerated, I'll admit, an ending can really mess something up. I have trouble watching Big O for the same reason. But eventually, there needs to be recognition of what was good. Still, script gets an extra point for a solid ending, especially considering who they had playing the villain is perfectly talented for what the script did. And Rutger should not have been asked to ham it up, even though he can. Comic 2 failed at heart, but not as abysmally. I will say for people who think fire is canon, nope, added for the series. I wish I could combine the boss battle of the script with the post-battle of the movie. It would feel more connected to an intense battle.
Admit it, Buffy. Aren't there times when you just feel Less than fresh. We're immortal, Buffy. You can do anything.
Oh, yeah? Clap.
Ooh. Ah. Ah. Ah.
Buffy pops up from the waist-deep blood, soaked and wounded. Her eyes go wide. No, not yet. Lothos rises. She grabs at the stake in what remains of Amelin's chest. Lightning quick, Lothos closes his hand around hers and squeezes till the stake splinters and she screams with pain. Same as the movie. Cross on fire, puny faith, keen fashion sense, uses hairspray to light him up. Difference? He falls to the pool with a scream and emerges charred and burned beyond recognition. Andy, reformed jerk, gets his head crushed trying to help Buffy. She kills him with a pencil, and it sounded cool. He had respect for her, smiled and said, "It doesn't hurt as much as I had imagined." In an obvious but slightly unexpected distance of last place, probably a space issue, is still well drawn, passable read if you've seen the series. And here's my biggest shock. I mean, I've always defended the movie as fun popcorn if you like camp. It reminded me of Teen Wolf, the Michael J. Fox version from the 80s. But it made me unsure of the series, so I'm surprised. Hate to break this to us all, but I think we've been complaining about a fraction of a difference. Some of the changes were even improvements. I think a rough ending, a creator wanting us to hate the movie because it wasn't 100% his vision, a rare thing, by the way, and the reputation that gave the series is the real problem. Joss does camp, don't believe me? Watch season 1. I guarantee you there are worse episodes than that movie. Which, by the way, I largely like, actually. But when I stop to think about it in that context, I can forgive. Because without Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie, and the success that it had at the time, there would likely not be a Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. That alone deserves gratitude.